Hi everybody, it's Adam. I'm back here with another video. I know it's been about a week, but I actually have not been trading that much. I've been watching the markets, but the markets just have not given me a great opportunity. I had a win at the end of last week and also a loss. But going over today, I'll just basically show like what price did and how we gravitated higher. But in reality, there hasn't been many trades that I've been taking. Yesterday, I took completely off because it was the day before NFP. Yes, there's a setup when I did my review, but honestly, there was nothing really like that highly probable. So today, I'm looking at ES, and I was looking to see if we can get up into the weekly void that we have up within here. So there's a gap here where there has been no buying or selling, so nothing at all. So that was my draw on liquidity. And looking at this, you do not want to trade against these bullish dildo candles. Like, these are going bullish. You don't really want to step in front of that trade, especially on the weekly time frame. Bullish order flow. So if you're in sync with order flow in this situation, it's obvious that it's going bullish. So that's what it's doing. It's respecting these fair value gaps and continuing higher, just like you can tell. Comes up, takes out the sell side here, trades up higher, break a market structure, respects the fair value gap with a bullish daily candle. We have a high here. And we also have that void that we're just talking about, that is this shaded box up within here. And all these lines that are going across are new week opening gaps, just so you know, with all the dates on them. But yesterday, I did not plan on trading. There was nothing really that appealing to me. There's a little buy that happened yesterday, somewhere over within here, but I did not like that, so I basically sat out of the whole market. And then I just looked at the market this morning based on what price did. And if I'm looking at NASDAQ and also ES at this time. So this is what I'm looking at here, all right? So we're up in the higher part of the range. I'm looking for a retracement to then continue to go long, which is kind of what happened here on ES today. And then we had the NFP news at 8:30. I did not partake in that, and I watched price in the pre-market of New York, but after the news. And this is really what we're going to get down into. So if you want to put on 2 times speed, whatever you want to do, go for it, or if you just want to watch. But we're going to get down deep into like what happened here in the price action and why I did it. So here's the market open, but this is what we had, okay, here on ES. This is really what happened. So it traded down here at the news, it took out these lows, and it hit the new week opening gap, and then started trading away. Okay, nothing really high probability in my opinion here. Trades up on in, just a lot of chop, can go in any which direction, nothing high probability. So what do we have? We have a higher time frame PD array up here to possibly be met, which is this void up there. We trade back down on into the range, okay, here at 850-ish, 852. So we trade back down on into this range, and we hit the low where all these rejection blocks are, all right? And then we start to trade away, all right? So we have this short-term high here. We break through that with displacement into this area. So now this fair value gap from here to here, so this fair value gap in the down candle, draw that out, that's an inversion. We shouldn't see that close below that candle within that inversion. So right below this low would be a high probability swing low. We would not want to see price come back down below. Obviously not financial advice, none of this is, because I'm just a guy on YouTube that loves talking about charts. But anyways, that's why we then started seeing movement up. So if you want to pair this with NASDAQ for the SMT confirmation, which is the highest, which is what I always use in every single one of my trades, has SMT divergence at this point. Every single one has SMT. So we have a lower low here on NASDAQ, but we have a higher low here on ES. And we have potential target here on ES, and then you can even measure this wick in quartiles. So if we do the 25, 75, 50, all this. So this is the area that we're going to be looking at within this wick that was up within here. So we would want to see it go higher, but then it traded back down, more bullish SMT up in here. But I really liked how when this was forming, we shifted up higher here on NASDAQ, and we're back up above this high now. And I do like the fact that NASDAQ is retesting after closing up above these inversions in this area within here. And then it starts to trade down. So this is now a breaker, this up close candle, draw that out. And now we have a fair value gap from here to here. So trades down and into that, trades up into here, hits 830 level. This blue line is the 830, this yellow line is the midnight. So then we start trading up within that range. So I do like that entry right within there, trades up on in. Do we get 20 points from this entry? Let's say fill to here, just about a little less than 20. But then if we keep going, it's a little bit higher. It takes a little bit. It stalls, and then we get market open, and then it just basically catapults up through the high. You cannot predict this. Like, the New York market open is very, very, like, nimble, in my opinion. I did not expect that to just rocket up right to the moon through there. yes, I expected higher pricing, but I didn't know what to expect at market open. But then it traded up higher, but we had bullish SMT. So this low to this low on ES on the left, lower low, higher low here. Trades on up and through, comes up into this area, and starts to accumulate within here. So now this is where I'm actually watching price to see if we can continue up into this higher time frame target. NQ had a higher time frame target up within here that I was looking at for a target as well. So up into these highs over here. You look at the daily gap over on NQ. But when we were looking at that, I wanted to see if price could continue that movement. So we came down into the swing low here, all right, and we wick down on in, and we start to trade up higher, all right. And these wicks on the left are equal lows here. We made a lower low here on this wick, so that was kind of enough bullish SMT for me to want to see some type of movement higher. So we trade bullish here, we trade down on this candle, then we trade up, all right, and then we start to fold back over. And then we had actually bearish SMT at these highs, and then started trading down below. So if this was going to continue to long, we would not have broken this low. So this would be the low that needs to be held for price to continue up into the higher part of the range. But they had a different plan. There was no wick at the New York market open, so we had literally nothing tapped into the opening range. So we traded right back down into it, wicked up into here, this fair value gap, also paired with this inversion for a potential short entry, using this inversion gap on the 1 minute, not really giving any shorts an opportunity up in here. So trades back down below, uses this area. Nothing I really like. And personally, there's nothing high probability for this that I do like for the short. So I sat out on mostly all of this. Actually, all of it just in general. I just watched all this price action just play out. And then we came up into here, and traded back down on in. And over in this area is really where I was like loading up on some buy positions up into these areas. Short term 20 points, and then up above this high, and also this SIBI here I was looking at, and then also up in there, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. Price trades back down, so now we got this gap within here. So we want to see if this gap can hold price action. So we trade back up in, close above it, close in this inversion again. We trade back down below it, and down below. Nothing really clear for an opportunity, even though I was looking for these swing lows. Well, these equal lows to be taken, okay? These equal lows were clear as day to be taken, as well as our bearish order flow and bearish order blocks holding price action here on ES to continue down lower. So we actually go to the 5 minute time frame, and we can see how these inversions held price. And look at these closures. Bearish 5 minute closure, bearish 5 minute closure, retest this area to continue down towards the sell side. We hit the sell side, and now we just wait. Does it want to continue lower, or does it want to go higher? All right. Trade down lower. We have this gap to fill. We have this low, and we also have the opening price that we never really met either. Go to the 2 minute. 2 minutes is a very good time frame for me. Personally, when you see this closure, it's like, okay, it's ready to get going. So this 2 minute closure here, we wicked back up on in here above this 2 minute. So below the 2 minute, this 2 minute here, so bearish SMT on the 2 minute time frame. From there to there, basically indicating a price still wanted to move lower, which it did. We shifted back up higher after taking out this low here. Go to the 5 minute, you can see there's going to be a gap within here that we tap down and into right here. This fair value gap filled, trades away. Okay, after we take liquidity here on NASDAQ as well, so it takes liquidity. All right, so that's what we have right there. We go to the 2 minute, we can see these lows right within here. We start to trade away. We go to the 1 minute time frame. Now this is where it's going to get pretty nice for potential entries. So we come down and we trade away. All right, and we have this wick tapped down and in. So we hit the liquidity. All right, and then we started trading away really quick. Okay, we trade down and into the gap, hit the closing price, opening range closing price, and trades away. I like this. That's an entry when there is no wick here on ES. So at that time, boom. Looking for 20 handles right about here. Okay, it hits the consequent encroachment of the opening range as well. From here to here, boom, 50%. Trades back down and in. All right, once it trades back down and into this range, we shift up higher again. Market structure shift, as you can tell. This wick came up above this high. All right, now we have a fair value gap with a high probability order block with no wick. All right, what's that tell you? Okay, for potential for it to move higher again. Same here, high probability order block on ES, no wick. So high probability order block, trades away, comes up above this high here, and then basically pulls back down into the range after hitting that area. So I do like these areas. I wanted to see this continue higher, and then we had more bullish SMT within here, within these wicks, but we were already so overextended, and we started closing up above these 5-minute gaps that were up within here. So as you can tell here in the 5-minute time frame, we have this inversion gap right here, and then on NASDAQ as well, this inversion gap here, we closed bullish, but then we trade back down and into these rejection blocks before it wanted to continue higher. So it actually created a phantom trend line, as you can tell here on the 1-minute time frame on NASDAQ. You see this phantom trend line from here to here, comes down, taps it, trades back up in, trades down again. I'm not short. I'm not trying to go short in something like this, okay? I'm really just waiting for price action to tell me, does it want to go long or does it want to go short? So I'm going to sit here, wait, just watch price, let it accumulate, let it do what it has to do. And notice how this low here was broken. But over here on ES, we made a higher low. So bullish SMT there in the 1-minute. We shift up higher, okay, we shift up higher, and we trade down and in again. Yes, we have more bullish SMT in these 1-minute wicks, but we're not going to get caught up in these 1-minute wick bullish SMTs. Okay, we want to measure this range now. So if we're measuring from the low to the high, and we go to our 50% and lower, which is here, okay, and lower. So anything really in this range is fair game, but ideally I would not want to see this 50% of the wick breached. Why the 50% of the wick? It's because that's the algorithmic wick right there. So I use these wicks as gaps. So these, sorry, that was my dog shaking. But anyways, price could come down into there. But if it did and then it bounced off it, I would close the trade when it gets back closer to my break even because I wasn't right in the trade. This is what I'd be looking at within here. Pulls back down on in. Even this right here, I know I just said like don't look for the bullish SMT, but that's still an entry in my opinion for something like that. Break a market structure, fair value gap, time, everything's lining up within this position here. So entries, wicks back up on in, retest, shifts up, market structure shift, retest of this order block that's right here, another entry, shifts up on in, retest order block, another entry, stop losses above here now. So once price starts to leave this area and show bullish movement, I'm looking to move the stop loss along the way up within that area. So this is ideally what I'm looking at for a very clear day. All right, so now let's see what we have here. We have more bullish SMT. Yes, we do. This wick right here, bullish SMT, break up on in. 2-minute time frame, I know we had a nice bullish 2-minute closure, and this was like green light. Okay, we're ready to go to the moon at this point. So it's waiting. High probability 2-minute order block right here. Trade back down on in. Using, like I said, this swing low here, we want to see the 50% of that wick stay in. That was a 1-minute wick, but if we go to the 2-minute for a tighter stop, something like that, let's say average fill is like right here. So you're not getting the lowest low, but you're still getting wicks. Boom, boom, and you're going for 20 handles on NASDAQ. Boom, clear as day. Boom, 20 handles, let the rest go. Looking for this high, and also this fair value gap that's sitting right here. And yes, it went a little farther, but if you're not being greedy, then that'd be no issue, okay? So now, once we have all this in place, now we're going to look at what happens right before price gets to here. So what did it do? It stalled right before it got here, all right? At this time, it stalled. But that's the time ES was taking the high. Taking partials in this areas, okay? We're taking partials there. And now when we're taking partials, what can we see for price to possibly get up to our SIBI, which is this little gap that's sitting right here above this line that I have. So right here to here, not this one. If I draw this out, right here to here, right here to here. So if price reaches up on into here, that's what I'm looking for drawing liquidity. I'm pretty confident it's going to get up there, but you have to see it a million times to even be confident in it, you know? So 5-minute time frame. All right, 5-minute time frame right here. What do you see here? Pause the video. What do you see here? The 5-minute wicks compared to the other wicks. So you can pause it if you want. But okay, let's get into it. So bullish closure. We're up above this inversion. All right. Now we have fair value gap that's created. And when we create the fair value gap, we come down in, we reject it. At the same time, we come down and reject a volume imbalance here on ES with a bullish closure. And we already could expect higher pricing up in this area if you measure the bodies of this Judas swing that came down. So the Judas swing is a fake move down, measuring the bodies from here to here. Here's this -1 up to here. So I'm expecting possibly higher pricing up into there, possibly after this was hit, if it still shows bullish structure, which it is. And I'm expecting this high here to be met too as well. So trade down and in. Now what? 2-minute time frame. What can we see here in the 2-minute? We wick it, come back up on in. All right, we're up into this area. Nice little wick here, showing bullish structure as well. 1-minute time frame. What do you see here? You see this red box here on the 1-minute time frame? Now I'm watching to see, does price want to use this for this box here, this fair value gap to drop it, or does it want to break up, have a body close above it to use it as rejection, which after it did, close up above it, next candle rejected it, boom. I'm expecting now this low to hold price within this fair value gap here. At the same time, we're rejecting this volume imbalance to reach our higher targets up within here. So I'm looking at this range here for after our partials are taken here, well, basically 20 points, and then up within here as well, because that's when the high was taken here on ES. So as soon as the high in the PD array was hit here on ES, partials, trade back down in the range. Now, okay, why can't we risk part of the partials? Now that we got this, we got this, we got this area here. Just about 18 points, but if we're looking for 20, boom. What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? And then even the high, the SIBI, and then we were looking, or personally I was looking for higher prices up into here, which would lead us here to the daily area up within there. I'll go down to the 5-minute just here on the NQ futures. I was actually looking for higher prices up into here as well. So we didn't quite get those today, but basically came up into that area and then just rejection consolidated the rest of the day. There are some setups in here, but I wasn't watching it, working on the other business, which I'm happy about. Finally, well, not gonna say too much, but we did pretty well for the month of May 2023. First really big successful month with the other business. So that's it. Anyways, gonna wrap this up here. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Actually, I want to say one more thing. On the weekly time frame, we hit our higher time frame PD arrays. I'm either going to expect more bullishness or just some consolidation coming in the beginning of next week, which is not bad, but we'll see. We had a lot of PD arrays met, a lot of targets met, so we'll see what happens next week. All right, take it easy. Love y'all. Peace out. Not a financial advisor. I'm just some goofy dude. Peace out.